welcome back, dear viewers. And as we said earlier, that our main topic today is Egypt's solidarity with Saudi Arabia and all Gulf countries in the face of any acts that threatened their security and stability. And to shed more light on this issue, we are joined over the phone by Dr. Fouad Razek, researcher in foreign policies and international relations. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and thanks for hosting me.
So, sir, as I've just mentioned, that Egypt has always shown its solidarity with the Arab neighbors, and yesterday the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Saudi counterpart asserted close coordination between Cairo and Riyadh over developments in the region. How do you see Egypt's stance regarding its Arab neighbors?
Of course, Egypt's position is not new at all. Egypt consistently reaffirms its firm position that the security of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the whole Gulf Cooperation Council states is an integral part of Egypt's national security. President Sisi all the time and the Foreign Secretary emphasize their full solidarity with Gulf countries in confronting any threats or attempts aimed at destabilizing the region, while supporting all measures and actions taken to safeguard their sovereignty and protect the security of their citizens.
So, sir, how does Egypt's support for GCC security reflect the evolution of Arab collective security concepts in the modern Middle East?
Yeah, of course, this is should be a collaborative, effort on part of Egypt and other Arab countries in supporting the Gulf region. But, Egypt all the time, condemn any terrorist acts or plots targeting the stability of the Gulf region. And Egypt also, with Arab countries, stress that any threat to the security of the Gulf would further complicate the entire regional landscape and undermine efforts aimed at preserving stability and security in the Middle East. What we noticed recently is that actions speak louder than words. That was clearly in the visit by President Sisi to the Gulf area, in particular United Arab Emirates, and what you referred to now as the what happens with the Foreign Secretary issuing such declarations and support for the Arab countries, and in particular Saudi Arabia. And of course, Egypt might welcome the news that there is no imminent attack, as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and other states, asked America to hold the attack recently. It might be a welcome news because Egypt wants to see the stability and security of the area as it has paramount importance.
So, sir, also the two top diplomats yesterday pointed out to the economic repercussions of continued tension, reiterating the need to maintain security of navigation through maritime corridors. How can we do that?
This is a big threat, actually, and it's very serious one for us, because the economy is affecting, the whole area, not only the Gulf countries. Everybody on earth is affected by what happens in the Strait of Hormuz and its siege. And actually, the threat recently to do with the cables, is very serious one, and action should be taken against such a thing. And that's what Egypt is trying to do with other Egypt enjoys good relations with other powers in the area. It has good relations with America, with Russia, and with China, and it should make use of this to reach a sort of security deal with other countries to assure the security of the whole area, because it has become a worldwide problem, not only between U.S. and Tehran. This is why it's very important for Egypt to consider Gulf security, if we need to go back to this idea. Red line, this is a position demonstrated through strategic military partnerships, and as we heard recently, joint exercises such as Tabuk and Faisal drills. Of course, Egypt, in the meantime, maintains close security coordination with Gulf states in order to deter any external interference and strengthen regional defense capabilities.
And sir, how has Egypt translated its political declarations of solidarity with Gulf states into concrete diplomatic, military and security actions?
Yeah, that's what I just said, that
Yes.
actions speak louder than words. In such
Yes.
visits and joint exercises and drills. This is actually plays an important role in that sense, and in safeguarding the stability and security of the whole area, not only the Gulf area, because Egypt considers this issue as part and parcel its main concerns as well, as it is, as I said, it's a world problem. It's not only confined to the area, and if anything happens, it will affect badly the whole area. And as you said, from the economic point of view,
Yes.
there is a dire crisis actually affecting every citizen, not only in the Arab world, even Europe, and they suffer a lot actually. Prices are soaring high, and this affects the area very large. This is why any peace deal is welcome. Any effort by Egypt relying on its strong relationship with the big powers like Russia and China, very important and very sensitive actually at this sensitive stage.
So sir, also if we talk now about the US-Israeli war in Iran, how do you read the situation now?
The situation is very fragile actually, and it is explanatory actually in that sense. And recently we heard the news that today, for example, there was supposed to be an attack against Iran, and has been halted by the request of some Gulf states, especially Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. This is the President Trump, of course, adhered to such calls and halted the attack. And as he said, there is some good news that a deal might be reached, and such a deal might be good for the whole area, because nobody is going to benefit from any war or reigniting the war again against Iran. So the whole area is affected, and everybody is looking forward to a deal to be signed and to end this war. Except, of course, there are other countries that are not interested in such peaceful talks, but Egypt, of course, will support such steps. Especially it came at the request of the friendly sister countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates.
So, sir, and how do you read the recent statements by U.S. Donald Trump in the past few hours about that time is approaching and that we are going to strike Iran soon? How do you read these statements? And after these statements, he said that there might be a way to continue negotiations. So we can see that there are some conflicting statements by the U.S. president. How do you read it?
On the surface of it, it looks conflicting, but actually this is the approach usually done by President Trump. He issues contradicting statements, but as a matter of fact, we should really take such things seriously, because whatever he says is something, for example, today was supposed to attack Iran, but he stopped, as I just said, at the request of such Arab countries who are closely affected by this terrible crisis, and this is the way it should go. And he said very optimistic things that going to negotiations. He assumed actually Pakistan might interfere and revive the negotiations now it's coming not only from Pakistan, it's coming from the countries that are directly affected by it. And as I said, Egypt would welcome such efforts, to end the war and reach negotiations for the good of everybody, and put an end to the siege of Hormuz, because it's affecting everybody in the whole world economically, and there should be an end to that.
I'd like to thank you, Dr. Fouad Abdelrazek, researcher in foreign policies and international relations. Thank you, Dr. Fouad, for being with us. And as Egypt